I'm John Mercure. Welcome to Focus on the Falls. A couple very special guests. I'm joined by Corey Golla. He's the superintendent here in the Falls, and Casey Blochowiak, the director of curriculum and learning. Thank you so much for being with us.
No, thanks for being here, John.
Corey, I want to ask you about in-person learning. Man, the district, knock on wood, it's not an accident, has done a great job, a responsible job bringing kids back. Tell us where we're at with in-person learning with the different age groups.
Yeah, for all those who selected that flex model, so that's about 80% of our students were full-time face-to-face for all of those students. We still have about 18% of our students who had selected virtual as their option with their families. They're still there, but we're all in and we're healthy. Kudos to Menominee Falls. This is the healthiest our community has been and the healthiest our schools have been since the start of the school year. So we're in a great place right now.
We still have some of the school year left, but talk about the most difficult part of the journey. What was it? I know you've been weighing so many things and literally some nights not getting a lot of sleep. What was the most challenging part of the journey up to this point?
I would say the uncertainty of all of this as we started. I mean, right now we know the CDC just released its guidelines on how to reopen schools safely. As we worked with our county partners through the fall, really all the way back into the summer and through the fall and through this whole year, it was reading those guidelines, learning about the science behind the pandemic, seeing the experience of others, and just making those really quick adjustments as we needed to as we learned more. That was challenging, but I'm just so proud of our team. That's why I'm glad Casey's here. You know, we've had people helping us on the science and the health and deep work on the instructional end to make sure we wanted to keep our kids on pace no matter what instructional model we needed to be on, and with her leadership we've done that.
So Casey, I wanted to ask you about that because we can have the best computer programs, all the books, the best design of in-person hands-on learning, and then the pandemic hits. Absolutely. And the curriculum kind of needs to change and pivot almost immediately. What have been the most challenging parts of needing to do that?
Yeah, so I think the most challenging part was just the uncertainty. We are our teachers, our experts at teaching in the classroom, and all of a sudden we were faced with, we want to do this excellent deep learning with students online, and then really thinking about what that would mean to make sure that all of our students are getting the support that they needed. And so the message we sent from the very beginning was just start. It wasn't okay to be disconnected. We knew it wasn't going to be perfect. We wanted to keep that connection to learning for our students and our families. And we started very quickly, and boy, have we learned, and our students and our families have just been there with us throughout all of this.
So Casey, take me back to let's pick March 1st of last year.
Yep.
Coronavirus was kind of in the headlines. We didn't really know what was going on. You were waking up and you were thinking about the programs that were already in place and curriculum and learning.
Yep.
And then March happened, and then April of 2020 happened. How was it to have to rethink and reevaluate the way we do everything when it comes to curriculum and learning?
Yeah, so much like anything we do in the district, we went directly to those people that do the work. So when it became eminent to us that schools were going to close, we brought together a team of teachers from across the district at the North Middle School Library and said, what can we do? Very quickly put a plan in place for students and families, and I think it took us maybe 2 days, if my timeline is correct, to create an option to keep students connected to learning throughout last spring, and then refine that process over the summer and into the fall.
Corey, you like to use the phrase, the relentless pursuit of excellence. How was that necessarily tweaked during what we've gone through?
You know, I guess I would say we made a decision to not tweak it, and I'm so proud of our district to do that, because we said, you know, we obviously have to protect the health of our families, our students, all of our employees, but we also were committed to our obligations for learning. And we said from the start that our teachers and all of our employees just believe that we can do this. Whatever the pandemic will throw at us, we're going to keep students on grade level. We're going to teach our curriculum with our teachers in our classrooms wherever possible. And we're seeing evidence that we've accomplished that, and I'm just incredibly proud of this district and this community for supporting that.
A couple of things I know the community are very proud about. Ranked one of the best school districts in Wisconsin, that's quite an honor. 139 AP scholars, 14 national AP scholars. When you hear that sort of stuff, what does that tell you about how your staff and the students in our district are performing?
It feels like we've got good students, good families, and good teachers, and just a great district. supporting students to get to wherever they want to get to. You know, we just had the conversation with Jack, who's working to be working tool and die. We have a pathway there, what you just described for those AP scholars. Those are kids taking courses with us that will earn them college credits, and they will transition a step ahead in the same way that Jack did in his program. So just that's our goal, is we want every kid to know where they want to head to, and have all the tools to be there, and we'll support them all along the way.
Casey, I'm so glad you're here, because I want to ask you about those different pathways kind of at a higher level.
Absolutely. Because
you will have high school students who will graduate from here and go into the workforce immediately in retail or industry or whatever. You'll have other kids that will go to an Ivy League school. How do you design so many different pathways and curriculums and learning opportunities for such a wide variety of kids?
Yeah, and so I think it's to Corey's point that our goal is every student leaves us with a plan in place. And so to do that, we know that there needs to be a really wide range of options. For some students, that might be what we call a supervised occupational experience, where they're out in the workforce for half of their day. For some students, it might be transcripted credit courses that are offered here at the high school. Some students might access what's called the early college credit program, where they're taking a course at a university off-site. Some might really have that clear pathway that we talked about and might be in a dual enrollment academy, getting a trade certification and their high school diploma at the same time.
Corey, the mid-year look is upon us. What should we be focused on? What are you focused on?
This is where we get to see, we did this at quarter, and now that we have deeper information at semester to see how are our students performing in comparison to what our goals are for those students in a typical year. How are they comparing with students in past years? And the evidence we're seeing is they're on pace, and that was our goal, is let's not lower our standards for students. We believe we can help them get there, and we're seeing that, so we're excited about that.
Can you talk about the importance of the vaccine and what that's likely to mean for your faculty community as well as for our community at large?
Yeah, we are very much really promoting that, and our employees particularly want the vaccine, and we're excited to know that they'll be receiving it soon. As of March, about 90 to 93% of our employees have said, yes, I want to get the vaccine. That's going to be, that's just going to help us as a school district and as a community. The more people get this, the more we get closer to that true herd immunity, where we won't have to have all of our activities compromised by COVID. So we're working close with the county. I know their priority, as it should be, is those people who are 65 and over. I think they're close to 40% of those people in Waukesha County have been vaccinated who want it. As they get to that 60% mark, then they're going to be turning their attention, and they've prioritized educators.
It's been quite a balancing act, hasn't it? We talk a lot about kids and their families, which we should talk about, but your employees who have to come into the district every single day, or they're still working, even if it's part remote, part here in the buildings, to keep them safe has also been a big task.
Yeah, absolutely, and I just want to applaud their courage, because they went on this journey with us. They expected us to follow the science, follow the mitigation, but a lot of this was unknown. They were committed to their students, and they've been there all along. And in many cases, even pushing us, pushing us to bring more students back, especially in those early grades. So it's been challenging, but we've got great partners across the district in all roles helping us.
Casey, can you talk briefly about some of the lessons we've learned and tools we've developed that will better serve the district moving forward once we're clear of the pandemic?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So whenever we were pursuing new tools to help students learn, to stay engaged, that was top of mind. What are we going to learn about this particular tool that we want to retain? We got to test programs on a large scale, where typically we might start very small, we would study it, but really learning how there's many technology tools available to us that allow us to meet students right where they're at, get a sense of where their understanding is, so our great teachers can then come in and provide that just-in-time instruction so that all students are on that path towards success.
Couple fun things. It's Youth Art Month. That's
Yep.
always cool. I love it. Typically, it's been displayed, I think, at the library. The military wall is done. Everybody who has the opportunity should check it out. Things like that, Corey, that kept rolling and kept getting done, regardless of what was happening in the world around us. How important are those sort of things?
And I just had a chance in the last 2 weeks to speak to some of our students in the Healthcare Academy about our experience, and that was one of the things we stressed is we always look to try to say yes to, we know all of those experiences are so important. So yes, we want kids getting the core instruction and those content areas, but they have passions in art and the trades and those hands-on skills in athletics. And we just always said, is there a safe way for us to do this? And where we could say yes, we said yes. And yeah, check out the art display at the library. I was just snapped a picture of a student's artwork in the lobby. It's a nice sketch, I'm assuming a self-portrait of her and her mask. It's like, boy, how reflective is that at the times? And the military wall, you've got to check that out, John. It's just, you saw it early in construction.
Yes.
It's a beautiful piece that our students designed and built from our tech center. And it's just a great tribute to all of those graduates from our high school over the years who have gone into the military.
Corey Golla is the superintendent in Menominee Falls. Casey Blochowiak is the director of curriculum and learning. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
And thanks, John.
Thank you.